Hey everyone, Jody from Bear Dog Off-Road Adventures here. Today I'm going to show you guys how we installed the Wolfbox Hyperflow onboard air compressor. Be honest with you guys, I really love it. Stay tuned.
All right, so let's tell you what's in the box. Not a whole lot of moving pieces here. You have your instruction manual. You have your switch here, which I think we're going to use. We ordered a little holder off Amazon. We're going to try to use that. You have the cable itself. This has two fuses that goes into your battery. So I will tell you this. I probably wish they would have had something on here to hook directly to the battery. I might be able to have something in my thing. Here's a negative, which ironically the negative's close up here to where this hooks into the compressor. So it looks like I'm going to try to have to run my negative somewhere in the back of the Bronco so I can try to do that. I may have to cut this off and get extra wire for it. We'll just have to wait and see. Also comes with a handy carrying bag for some of your different items that comes with it. I'm doing this one hand, so just please bear with me. You know, it comes with some filter replacements, it looks like. Some hardware mounting stuff. Looks like there's some isolators here. I think that's what that is. And of course, here is the huge ass gauge. And I'm assuming this is what connects into the compressor that you would use. And a really long air hose. Which, since we have our Morphlate kit, we probably will not use this, but it's just something to consider. And if you don't have that type of system, you want to do one tire at a time, you could always use this. Otherwise, do the 4-hose system like we do, and you should be fine. A couple quick things we got from Amazon for this install. We got this little bracket here. I probably will mount this somehow to the JCR basket, and that way this thing right here will slide perfectly in. You know, you just got to push it all the way in. I'm not going to do it just yet. And that way we can turn the air compressor on and off. Of course, we'll hook it to the wires back here in the back. Now, you'll notice here, these two ends here, completely open. So, we ordered some ring connectors, I guess for lack of a better term, with the, heat insulation, also the heat shrink. Got these off Amazon. We'll put links down below. Bought these both off Amazon as well, so that way you guys can get it for yourself if you decide to do so.
All right, you can see here how we mounted the base plate. Now, granted, this could probably be done better, and we're probably going to go back and revisit this to make it a little bit more sturdy. But just for now, we went ahead and put it up there just to make it up there. I will go back and measure it and see if I can get like a single plate on each side. Here's an example of do as I say, not as I do. This thing's pretty heavy, so to position it to where I could put the side screws in, I did use the hydraulic floor jack. So do that at your own risk. You don't have to be careful not to damage the compressor, but it worked pretty well. It pushed it right up there. It gave me just enough time to get those screws in to get it secured in place. Okay, so we got to put the little hole things on here to connect the battery, and we run the wire back up through the truck. We come through the grommet down through here just like we did with the Charger 1, actually right alongside over here. Then again, down here at the bottom, give us more slack, up through behind here. As you can see here, these are the Charger 1 cables, and this is the one for the Wolfbox. So we're going to zip tie this thing up. Now the negative we did run over there, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So same place we put the negative on our turn off-road spare taillight, we pop this thing off. You can see the cord going in there. There is a bolt right back here, and I should take a picture whenever I had it off, but you just pull this panel loose. You can still do it with a trail deck. We just bend it out. Just be careful. And we connected it to the same ground as the turn off-road light, as well as the factory ground. It's like right behind this right here. Now we're going to zip tie everything up, hook everything up, and then we should be good to go. I like the way this is setting. Yes, it does take away some clearance, but I'm not worried about that because having a permanent air compressor in here negates the need for the extra Tuffy box. I'm sorry, the extra Husky box. And without that, we only need just our jack here at the bottom, and then we're going to put our hoses in the back. and maybe toss them up here. So hang tight, guys. We're almost done. All right, so we did our switch right here. There's a little snug in there. As you can see here, we got these on. We're going to connect one in here, and the heat shrink from our trusty old heat gun. And we're just going to hook those up, hook the battery back up, and we should be done. Okay, it says 15.44, so let's go one more. All right, 15.23, so it's about the same as what we had last time. All right, so I'm going to hook up this hose. This is an extension hose I bought off Amazon. This is not part of the kit. We can put a link below if you all want to look at it yourselves. There we go. So that way I can just basically hit this switch, turn it on, and then use this to start and stop as I check. So I'm going to go crank the truck up because you need to crank the truck before you do this. It will drain your battery down, so let's go do that and we'll get started. All right, here we go. Alright, so that's 35, 7 minutes, 1 second. Give or take a little bit because, you know, I can't adjust this the same real time this thing is going. So right at 7 minutes from 0 to 35 PSI. But that's pretty impressive. I'm pretty proud of it. As you can see here, we're going to turn this light, turn it off. You heard it going there. Good thing is these things are easily changeable, but us being inside the car, you know, shouldn't have to change it that often, maybe once a year. And we got spares. All right, guys, just be quiet up front with you guys. I don't expect this thing to be as fast as their dual portable Hyperflow 60D that we just done. Just for the simple fact that portable dual air compressors are faster regardless. The ARB ones aren't as fast as those dual compressor, the 10.6 compressors. So there's just, you're not really looking at apples to apples comparison in that regard. So you may be asking, well, then why would you want this? Well, one, if you will a lot, you don't have to carry around a compressor. You just, it's mounted, it's pretty compact. It's up here, you know, you can just, you know, take it out, do whatever you need to. And, you know, whenever it comes time to wheel, you got it there, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to carry a big bag with a bigger compressor in it. So that's one thing. Two, if you don't off-road a whole lot, you might want to consider the portable. So there's no wrong answer. They're within a minute of each other, so it's not like you're looking at a big drastic difference. So what I'll say is, you know, think about your needs and which one do you think fits your needs better. I'm going to say this up front and honest with you. I'm probably going to stick with this one for now. And the simple fact is because I think on a long-term basis, this will be more beneficial to me. Some of you guys may not have that same situation or same opinion in your case, which that's perfectly fine because there's no wrong answer here, so to speak. So what I would say is you know, depending on what your wheeling styles are, how often you go out, all that sorts of things. What do you use your storage area for when you're not off-road? To be honest with you, this is way underutilized when I'm not off-road because I don't carry a lot of stuff back here. My groceries usually go in the back seat. Dog rides in the front seat. So, you know, fridge is here, trail deck's here. Now, on this one, I'll have to open and close the gap because this doesn't automatically shut off. Most onboard compressors do not do that. Now, if you wanted to, I know that Morflate does offer the air hub to where it will do that, but you know, that's up to you if you want to do that. I just open and close the valve. This thing powers off automatically when you close the valve when it has that back pressure, so you don't have to worry about it messing up. You know, it's up to you however you want to do it. You know, we're going to use our 4-hose kit from Wolfbox that we got during Trail Hero X as well. Same one that we used at the last test. But also, too, it's about the same temperature. Last testing, it was 105. And I think it's a little over 100 right now here in Phoenix. So I think you're going to see a fairly apples to apples comparison. And, you know, like I said, take from it with what you will. This is not scientific, but, you know, it's just more to give you an idea of what kind of performance you can expect with this. And even though they don't make a Bronco specific kit for installation, this is pretty easily adaptable, much like its competitors are. Like, we mounted ours on the bottom of the shelf. I know my friend Graham from Arizona Broncos mounted his on his Molly panel. I don't know if you can mount it under the hood because the other brackets that are made for the other brands may or may not work. This is similar in size to the other brands. Speaking of my friend Graham, he did test this against the ARB, and he has posted it on social media in the Wolfbox community page if you want to check it out. It was faster than the non-brushless ARB one. So just be mindful of that. This is not a brushless design, so who knows, maybe in the future Wolfbox will offer us that. If they do, you can damn be sure that it's going to be pretty fast. Hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, please let me know. We'll put a link below so you can get your own if you want to. And you know, I'm happy to help with any kind of questions you have.
As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you really appreciate these videos. We enjoy making them and bringing them to you guys. Do us a solid, please, and please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Our subscribers aren't rising as nice as we would like them to, but you know, it just helps us get out to more people. There's not really much monetary benefit to it, but it's free for you guys. So if you wouldn't mind, please do that. We'd greatly appreciate it. Stay tuned, guys. More to come.